Well, I think all moms by definition are super moms, and our mom was definitely one of those. And when she was growing up, both the Atchison and the Walton families were very large, so she grew up in a family atmosphere, and she always enjoyed being with families. So we remember a lot of large Christmases and Easter egg hunts and everything else. And sadly, the last few years with her health issues, we sort of forgot all the good stuff prior to those. So she put up a lot of us, 3 kids, and moved several times, and always took care of us.
She was born in Dallas, but the grandparents maybe are from the country Hillsboro. The grandparents were so poor that she had to go live on the farm. She was born in 1928, so she saw it all. She saw the Depression. She got to see it all, the last 100 years almost of history. She made sure we learned it and appreciated everything we had, and she was able to provide for us. Her sister, Lita Rue Baton, 4 years younger, is a member here in all of Lita Rue's family. So they were raised in Houston. Their mother my grandmother owned a children's youth shop, boutique children's shop in Pasadena Plaza. Fond memories of Debbie and Holly and Brad and I getting to get our clothes there, working some, counting socks and all of that. So that was a big family tradition. Dolores enjoyed that as well as Lita Rue. It's called Rue Ann's from Lita Rue's first name and my mother's middle name. So Rue Ann's Youth Shop was part of our family history.
Yeah, she was a clerk at the Santa Fe Railroad for a number of years.
And then she was a stay-at-home mom for the rest of the time, but as we know here, a volunteer. And then in the 70s, we were transferred to Philadelphia. Mom did have a gap of living in Houston. She was able to we lived in New Jersey and in that Philadelphia area. She didn't like it at first, but I think in the long run you see, you were able to be exposed to some different cultures and smaller church, and again, she appreciated that. I did. And then she moved. When he passed away early, she was widowed at age 50, she moved back here.
I think New Jersey was my funniest memory of her. We always had cats in the family, and our cats were Texas cats, and so when we moved them up to New Jersey, there was one of them that decided to climb the roof and then wanted to get back inside, and so it came down the chimney. We heard all this meowing and finally opened the flue on the chimney, and down comes the cat. But the funniest memory of that is her trying to use a vacuum to get all the soot off the cat.
All of our homes were beautiful. The gardens were, and she really liked that. Come see this, come see that. And she knew every plant by its name, the scientific name.
And she liked to travel some. Dad was.
Yeah, we always had family vacations, and then she she played bridge a lot. The retirement years, just here at Southeast, with the 39ers, she really enjoyed that, and the field trips, and she liked volunteering and being part of it. She was put together, meaning she was able to encompass her whole life, put together aesthetically. You dress up. She was like that, always wanted to be put together, but then have room for her husband, have room for the children, and now, later the grandchildren. Her goal in life was to live to 90. Her goal in life was to go to every grandchild's college graduation, which she did. Colorado, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Illinois, Indiana. She went to all of them. She wanted to live to 90, and she was 93. So I think her life was complete.
Well, we always went to church, Sunday and Wednesday. So it was not a question if you were going to church, you were going to church.
She would make all the drapes in the house by the machine. She would sew our clothes. Every Halloween costume was hand sewn. And she taught me to sew. She taught my daughter to sew.
I think the only time we really got into trouble was when he took her car away. She blamed us for that, but it was a safety issue. She hated to give up that car, even at 90.
She was widowed at 50, so she was independent. She wanted to drive to church when she was 90 years old or older herself. She enjoyed people's company. She was another talent, I would say, was a hostess. She has like 10 sets of dishes. I recall as a young child, she would have people over all the time.
She had a pretty good chicken fried steak.
Pot roast. The sad part is that we did lose a brother. It was just devastating, and she hid it a lot. She didn't express that grief. When that happens, when a child takes their own life, I think there's thoughts of what could I have done better. She was here always volunteering to help others. We kept busy with the church and the youth group and all of that. She helped out a lot. It was her life.
Well, I think that, she loved the Lord and didn't mind telling people that she did, and just her actions in family life and the church.
She told me a few months before she passed that she didn't have regrets. She smiled all the time. I think that's my favorite memory. I miss the phone calls because she was funny. Very funny.
Every dent in her car has a corresponding mark on the garage door coming out.
Yeah, her dearest friends are from church.
And she always wanted to be on the Today Show with Willard Scott and have her picture on the 100-year Smuckers.
Mm-hmm. I like to use the word content.
Mm-hmm. No guilt.
Ups and downs, of course. We all do. And, nobody lives their whole life on earth perfect at all. But she was content with things.